Every time I see his name on a lineup card, I feel like throwing up. That's Mickey Mantle, the greatest switch hitter in baseball history. Talking about a pitcher who owned him, a farm kid from Ohio who turned his back on batters mid-windup, a Hollywood playboy who partied until dawn and still threw shutouts, a Cy Young winner at 23 who burned out at 30. Dean Chance made Mickey Mantle sick to his stomach. So who was he, and what did the baseball world really think about him? In 1964, Dean Chance did something that sounds impossible. He made the New York Yankees his personal punching bag. 20 wins, an earned run average of 1.65 that still stands as the Angels franchise record, 11 shutouts, 5 of them won by just 1 run. But here's the real number. Against the Yankees that year, Chance went 4-0 with a 0.18 ERA in 50 innings. He allowed 14 hits and exactly 1 run all season, a Mickey Mantle home run. Sports writer Phil Pepe captured it perfectly. It's Chance, not CBS, who owns the New York Yankees. Lock, stock, and barrel. Mantle batted just .245 against Chance over his career. This is a man who hit .298 lifetime. Commissioner Ford Frick told United Press International, "If I had a vote for the Cy Young Award, it would have gone to Chance. I saw him pitch in the All-Star game and also against the Yankees. He's one of the great pitchers." Chance won that Cy Young in a landslide. At 23, he was the youngest winner at the time. And from 1963 to 66, only Sandy Koufax won it or even got a vote, except Dean Chance in 64. Why did Mantle struggle? Author Arnold Hanno explained it. Chance threw pitches low and outside at the knee. At that point in his career, Mantle couldn't get under the ball. Chance lived below the belt, and it destroyed hitters. Picture this. You're standing in the batter's box, the pitcher gets his sign, then he turns his back to you completely. You can't see his eyes, his face, nothing. He spins and fires. That was Dean Chance. The repertoire was simple but devastating. A sinking fastball, a sweeping curve, a slider, an occasional screwball, all delivered with that bent body motion, everything low. He never threw a pitch above the waist, ever. Right-handed batters hit .223 against him. Left-handers hit .248. But here's the problem. Jim Cott, his Twins teammate, said it plainly. Started the 1964 season at 5-4, then went 15-5 to end it, but he had such an unorthodox motion it wasn't long before his arm broke down. That's the tragedy. The thing that made him dominant guaranteed he wouldn't last. The torque on his arm, the stress of that delivery. It was baseball arson, burn bright, burn fast, burn out. Before Hollywood, before the Cy Young, before Mickey Mantle wanted to vomit, there was a dairy farm in Wooster, Ohio, 166 acres. Dean Chance milked cows before school, then he threw baseballs. At Northwestern High School, he went 52-1 over 4 years, 17 or 18 no-hitters, depending on who's counting, 32 consecutive wins. He pitched every inning of every postseason game when they won the state championship in 1959. His high school coach told Sports Illustrated, "Dean always had a lot of confidence in himself. As far as he was concerned, nothing was impossible." The Baltimore Orioles signed him for $30,000. But they had a problem with the kid. He was brash, cocky. When the expansion draft came, the Orioles chose another pitcher instead. Too brash, too cocky. That other pitcher never won another game. Chance won a Cy Young Award. The Los Angeles Angels grabbed him. And in Hollywood, Chance found his partner in crime. Two pitchers, polar opposites, best friends for life. Bo Belinsky was a pool-hustling lefty from New Jersey. Dean Chance was a farm boy from Ohio. Together, they became Hollywood's most notorious playboys. Bo later said, "Dean and I were a marriage made in heaven or hell. I saw Chance in spring training in 1962 with a wife and kid. Some guys belong with a wife and kid. Dean and me just didn't belong with a wife and kid, especially in Hollywood. The stories started immediately. In June 1962, at 5:15 in the morning, police pulled over a red Cadillac convertible. Inside, Bo Belinsky, Dean Chance, and two women. Arguments, chaos. Each pitcher was fined $250 for breaking curfew. Manager Bill Rigney told Chance, "You don't know how close you've come to pitching for Dallas." That was a warning. Dallas meant the minor leagues, but they didn't stop. In spring training 1963, Chance and Belinsky showed up more than 2 hours late for a game, $500 fine. Belinsky told the Associated Press, "I guess me and Dean are just nuclear guys. We hit it off like an atomic bomb." People assumed Bo was leading Dean astray. Their own teammates knew better. Outfielder Leon Wagner set the record straight. Dean isn't any starry-eyed hanger-on. Compared to Chance, Belinsky is a quiet guy. Dean knows his way around, and he can show Bo a few things. Chance admitted years later, "Nobody made it with girls the way Bo did. I never learned his secret, but I enjoyed trying." Bill Rigney loved Dean Chance, and it drove him crazy. In 1966, when the Angels traded Chance to Minnesota, Rigney told the Minneapolis Tribune, "I hated to give up Chance. Dean was my pet, and what a great competitor. I consider him the best right-handed pitcher in the American League. My pet." That's what Rigney called him. But even Rigney didn't fully understand Chance. Neither did his pitching coach. Marv Grissom said, "I still believe Dean is capable of throwing a shutout every time he starts. If I knew why he doesn't, I'd retire a millionaire." Why didn't he? The talent was there, the stuff was there, but the consistency wasn't. Some games, the run support disappeared. Other games, Chance just couldn't find it. And nobody could explain why. Chance knew it better than anyone. He reflected, "One day you can throw tomatoes through brick walls. The next day you can't dent a pane of glass with a rock. It hurts, but you hang on, hoping it will come back." That's the honesty of someone who lived inside the inconsistency. Brilliant one day, ordinary the next. Dean Chance did not shut up about money, ever. Before the 1964 season, coming off a 13-18 record with a 3.19 ERA. And for a ninth-place team, general manager Fred Haney offered Chance the same salary, $18,000. Chance told the New York Times, "I plain couldn't believe it. I had pitched 248 innings. I had an earned run average of 3.19. My record was 13-18 with a ninth-place team. I thought I had a great year. Fred didn't agree. I was so disgusted I popped off and maybe said some things I shouldn't have said." He held out. Then he went out and won the Cy Young Award. 3 years later, after a down season, Chance accepted a salary cut and said, "I deserve and expect to be cut the full amount. All I've done this season is qualify for Comeback of the Year honors. Maybe a salary cut will give me a greater incentive." Pure sarcasm. The man was a pitcher, not a diplomat. In December 1966, the Angels traded Dean Chance to the Minnesota Twins. The Angels needed power hitters. Minnesota got a pitcher entering his prime. Manager Bill Rigney called him the best right-handed pitcher he'd ever seen. The Twins believed it. And in 1967, Chance delivered 20 wins, a no-hitter, the American League Comeback Player of the Year award. He started the All-Star game. The Twins were in a pennant race with Boston. On the final Sunday of the season, Minnesota led by 1 game. Win, and they're in the World Series. Chance started. The Twins led 2-0 heading into the bottom of the 6th. Chance had allowed just 4 hits. Then Boston rallied. 5 runs that inning. Chance was pulled. The Red Sox won. The next day, they clinched the pennant. Dean Chance came within 3 outs of pitching in the World Series. He never got that close again. By then, his relationship with Bo had changed. Chance told the Minneapolis Tribune, "Bo and I hit it off real well, and we had some good times together. I consider him a good friend." but I'd just as soon drop it. Those fun days are over. The Hollywood chapter was closed, but the friendship lasted forever. Let's talk about Dean Chance with a bat in his hands. It was not pretty. Career batting average, .066. 44 hits in 662 at-bats. 420 strikeouts. That's the worst batting average in Major League history for anyone with at least 300 plate appearances. Bill James, the legendary baseball historian, named Chance, along with Ron Herbel, as the worst hitting pitchers of the 1960s. This is a man who won a Cy Young Award, who made Mickey Mantle nauseous, who threw a no-hitter. Here's the irony. The same unorthodox motion that destroyed hitters also destroyed his own coordination at the plate. The bent body, the turned back, it all worked on the mound, nowhere else. With a bat, Chance was helpless. After 1967, the slide began. In '68, Chance posted a 16-16 record with excellent numbers, but no run support. Then came '69, a back injury. He rushed himself into shape during spring training and hurt his back. He was never the same. The Twins traded him to Cleveland in December '69. Indians manager Alvin Dark said, "Dean is a winner. I've always liked him. I'm sure he can help us plenty." He spent 1970 with the Indians and briefly with the Mets. In '71, the Tigers gave him one last chance. He went 4-6 in 31 games. On August 9th, 1971, Dean Chance pitched his final Major League game at Fenway Park. He allowed 2 singles and was pulled. He was 30 years old. Years later, he reflected, "Considering my motion, the stress it put on my arm, I was tickled to death to get 10 years in. Not bitter, not angry, just grateful." Final career line, 128 wins, 115 losses, 2.9, 2 ERA, 1 Cy Young Award, 1 no-hitter, a lifetime of stories. Dean Chance died on October 11th, 2015. He was 74 years old. He spent his post-baseball life running carnival game booths, managing boxers, and playing world-class gin rummy. In 2001, when Bo died, Chance organized a memorial at Dodger Stadium. He told the crowd, "Bo was a one-of-a-kind guy, and there won't be another one like him." He was full of cancer, his heart was bad, and his hip was hurting him terribly at the end. But he made his peace with the Lord, and he is probably better off today than he was last week. Chance refused to attend autograph shows unless Bo was invited too. Even after the headlines stopped, he remained loyal. Looking back at the Hollywood years, Chance said, "We made mistakes, tried not to hurt anyone. We were kids in a different time, pitching in a great city." Dean Chance didn't last long, but while he was here, he made damn sure everyone remembered him.